If you want to succeed in Google Ads, you need to rewire your thinking. Most people either oversimplify the Google Ads structure, which usually comes from people who are used to meta ads, or people are still setting up campaigns like Google in 2006 with SKAGs. What you really need to be doing is thinking about how the account structure reflects the business structure. I'll show you exactly what we did to take this account from $200 cost per lead to a $20 cost per lead in less than 4 months. On top of that, this new structure enabled the owner of this luxury car hire company to go from losing money to consistently profitable month on month as a solo entrepreneur and be able to buy his first Rolls-Royce, S-Class Mercedes, and G-Wagon within his first few years of business. What's wrong with typical structure? If you have the wrong structure for your account, then optimizing your campaigns will literally be impossible. If you sell more than one thing, Google Ads needs to have their hands held to understand what customers are the most valuable for your business, or it's going to show your ads to existing customers, low quality leads, or the report will look really good, but the bank account will look bad. So let's jump into that Google Ads account. So when we first got into this account, the client had a smart campaign which removed all control over proper segmentation of keywords, allocation of budget, proper reporting, and the list goes on. On top of all of this, all of his keywords are crammed into one big campaign. So what do we do? The new strategy starts with segmentation. So when we first took over the account, as you can see here, the cost per lead was $217. As we restructured the account month after month, refining everything, it dropped down to around $20. Now, this is a really strong ROI as the customer's average order value is around $1,000 to $1,400, depending on how many vehicles the customers take. So this new strategy is really about understanding segmentation. So the first thing we did is we excluded brand traffic so that Google Ads only learns from new customer inquiries, and then we segmented our campaigns into ad groups based on the car's function. So for example, going into the original campaign that we had set up, you can see that we had one ad group for wedding cars, one ad group for luxury cars, and one ad group for limos. So this gave us a base understanding of how much a lead costed per car type relative to the hiring price. Without that, we'd have a blended cost per lead and no way of understanding what cost per lead was for the actual separate cars, as luxury cars had a separate price to limos, to a Rolls-Royce or another classic car, and to further complicate things, the margins on each car varied differently. So once we had leads flowing in, we connected the leads to the actual inquiry. This ensured all of the keyword information, campaign data, and segmentation was visible in the inquiry, not to the customer, but in our back end. So for example, when we have a look at the website, you can have a look here that in the actual form itself, you can see the inquiry that the customer was made, the source of the campaign, the medium, and then the actual keyword. So when we have a look at the forms that have been submitted, our client can actually come back to us and say, this term produced X amount of leads, and of those leads, the actual cost to acquire a customer was Y. So this allowed us to understand 75% of his actual customers were coming from wedding cars, specifically Rolls-Royce, just like this one. Now this is despite the limo ad group costing about half the cost per lead. Now if we had one big campaign, overall Google would start to automatically shift most of the budget to limos, resulting in a good report but a bad bank account. So what we did is we segmented the ad groups into their own individual groups, or individual campaigns rather, so that we had one ad group for limos, one ad group for wedding, and one ad group for supercars. This allowed us to ensure that we were able to push budget to particular ad groups and really drive revenue to the particular cars that this business owner had and wanted to push. So once we had that critical piece of information, we were able to segment those ad groups into their own campaigns and assign specific budget to the campaigns that were producing actual tangible sales, not just nice numbers on a screen. Now with Google Ads, you have to remember that not all leads are equal, because not all margins are equal, not all close rates are equal, and not all lifetime value is the same. So the account structure is really important because it allows you to allocate budget towards a service or product that drives the best possible long-term ROI, despite the on-platform cost per leads. So once we understood the real drivers and the true cost per customers, we restructured the account to weight heavily on Rolls-Royce and a few other core winning terms in that wedding category. And as you can see on the account here, that wedding campaign went on to spend $29,000, generate 1,127 conversions at a cost of $23 per lead over the last 2 years, May 1st, 24 to May 30, 2026. Now, over this time, the owner of the company went from losing money month on month to being profitable every single month and be able to expand his business and buy his first Rolls-Royce, S-Class Mercedes, and a G-Wagon within the first few years of business. In addition to that, because he owned the vehicles now, he was able to improve his margins further. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more no-fluff Google Ads and Meta Ads videos focused on technical fixes, cleaner insights, and better ROI. Knowing the correct account structure is one thing, but actually rebuilding your account around clean, actionable data and a structure that properly drives increased revenue is where most businesses get stuck. If you're feeling overwhelmed and want a free account audit from me and my team on what's broken, how to fix the technical gaps, and improve ROI without guesswork, you can check the first link in the description to learn more. But even more importantly, watch our new video on the new way to run Google Ads in 2026 to get a deeper look at how we run our campaigns. Once you understand the right setup, you will never look at Google Ads optimization the same way again.